What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages? Welcome to today's bonus installment of Renegades Reviews. I'm the Renegade J.J. Williams, here to finish up the trilogy for Back to the Future. Released in 1990, enjoying a peaceable existence in 1885, Dr. Emmett Brown is about to be killed by Buford Mad Dog Tannen until Marty McFly travels back in time to save his friend. Once again, Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, Thomas F. Wilson, Leah Thompson, Elizabeth Shue, and Flea all appear in this one. We also get the introduction in the final chapter of this saga of Mary Steenburgen as Clara Clayton, Doc Brown's love interest now. Thank you very much. Okay. So, in the first movie, 1985, Marty McFly goes back in time to 1955, ends up messing things up, and has to put things back on track and get back to 1985 so that he can exist in the present day. Right? Okay. Then in part 2, 1985, Marty McFly travels to 2015, where he buys an almanac that he intends to use to try to make a few extra bucks on the side. That almanac is stolen by Biff. Biff goes back to 1955, gives the book to himself, which creates an alternative 1985 from the one that Doc and Marty know. Doc and Marty then must go from the alternate 1985 that they have gone back to, thinking it's their current home time. They have to go from there back to 1955, stop Biff from giving himself the almanac, thereby making his fortune, all while trying not to be seen by their other selves that already exist in 1955. The original 1955 Doc that helps 1985 Marty get back to 1985, and 1985 Marty that is already back in 1955. Are we all with me still? Okay. At the end of part 2, 1985 Marty from part 1 gets sent back to the future like everyone thought, but 1985 Doc Brown is zapped by lightning in the DeLorean and sent back to 1885. Then the Marty McFly that had gone to 2015 and went back to 55 to try to stop Biff re-encounters 1955 Doc to tell him that he is back from the future and once again needs his help. This is what sets up Marty now going to 1885 to try to save Doc Brown. Everyone with me still? Good. If that's not a huge cluster of chaos and disorder, I don't know what is. But Marty goes back to 1885, saves Doc Brown, throws a couple things off track because Clara Clayton is supposed to die in a ravine, Shonash Ravine, which eventually in his time becomes named Clayton Ravine. But Doc and Marty stop that from happening. Marty assumes the identity of one Clint Eastwood back in the time in 1885. And when him and Doc go back from 1885 to the present, it is now named Eastwood Ravine. But him and Doc aren't the ones that travel back. It's just Marty on his own. Because Doc uses the DeLorean essentially for personal gain and sets up a love life. The one thing he's been nagging at Marty the entire trilogy. You can't change the past. We can't use the time machine for personal gain. He ends up throwing all that out the window for love. Ends up marrying Clara Clayton. They have 2 children, Jules and Vern, named off of the author who both of them admire. And then Doc, Clara, Jules, and Vern show up in 1985 right as the DeLorean is about to get destroyed, thus rendering time travel impossible, except for the fact that the way Doc and Clara arrive is through a time-traveling train now. Good God Almighty. That is a ton of information. Back to the Future 3. Although the weakest, I think, in the trilogy on a whole level, and I use the term weakest only because there's no real other term to describe it. I love Part 3 because I like Westerns. You know, I love Tombstone, I love Young Guns, it was a TNT original movie called Purgatory. I get a kick out of some Western movies. So I enjoyed it. But story-wise, it's probably the weakest because it focuses so heavily on the love story. That was never really a prominent aspect in either of the other two movies. Yes, Marty's relationship with Jennifer was there. Yes, George's relationship with Lorraine was there. But it wasn't an in-your-face love story like this was. What do you guys think of Back to the Future Part 3? Where do you rank it? If you had to list the Back to the Future trilogy in your favorite order, 1, 2, and 3, what would you put it as? Let me know. Leave your thoughts in the comment box below. Don't forget to put in the comment box your top 5 trilogies of all time. And like I said, me and Jeff, when we ever get together to discuss this topic, we'll do so. And we will make sure to talk about a few of your guys' top 5s. So leave those in the comment box. Let me know what other movies you would like for me to discuss. And until tomorrow here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, I am the Renegade J.J. Williams. And remember, the future is not yet written. The future can be whatever you want it to be, so make it a good one. Until tomorrow, I'm the Renegade J.J. Williams, and I will talk to you guys all later.